Path Media. I was a minimum wage movie theater usher that made good and became a top earner in my network marketing company. Now, after 16 plus years in the profession, I'm finally teaching myself how to leverage the internet with online marketing and social media marketing to continue to grow and expand my business. My name is Ronnie Cruz, and this is Path of the Network Marketer.
All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Today, I'm going to kind of switch gears a little bit. I know I've been talking about a lot about mindset in the last few episodes. I want to switch gears to business because this is, after all, a marketing podcast. I want to talk about outsourcing today. Outsourcing, it's kind of been on my mind. I'm getting to a point where my workload has definitely increased. It's not that I'm maxed out at all, but it's increased, and there might be some areas where I can start outsourcing things. However, I know that for me, operationally, I generally don't outsource until it's absolutely necessary. And here's why. Number one, budget. Right? Budget. If I'm giving you and teaching you strategies that require you to spend money right out of the gate in order for that strategy to work, then it's almost pointless, right? That automatically limits what you're able to do, and it limits the audience, right? So I don't want budget to be a barrier to getting things done. As I mentioned in the last episode, I want to work through those limitations without having to use money as much as possible, because that really forces me to be creative. And if there's a way, if there's a solution to the problem, if there's a way to get something done without having to shell out cash, then that's good for your audience, right? That's good for you guys who are listening to this, because then you don't have to spend money on the things that I'm teaching you how to do, right? All right, so I like to be really scrappy. I like to bootstrap things, and I know, especially for my listeners, a lot of you are brand new to online marketing. A lot of you are new to the content creation space. I don't want you thinking that you have to have a massive budget or any budget at all to get started, right? I want to have as few barriers to entry as possible, because I want content creation and publishing to be really widely available, right? Because I believe everybody should be doing it. It's simple as that. So that's one reason. That's one reason I would say hold off on outsourcing as long as possible. I mean, it really does. It forces you to be scrappy and get creative, and then again, it removes barriers for people to gain access to the things that you're trying to teach. Now, of course, again, that's very unique, maybe to my perspective. If you want to teach strategies that cost money right away out of the gate, by all means. I mean, that's a decision up to you. If you want to start outsourcing right out of the gate because you don't feel like doing XYZ work, then that's fine. This is not necessarily a conversation of me telling you have to attack your weaknesses, because I understand I definitely have weaknesses. But I also, the second reason I want to hold off on outsourcing is because I want to learn a thing first and be proficient in that thing before I outsource it, right? Otherwise, I don't want to outsource something that I have no idea any concept or knowledge about, right? For example, let's see, what's one thing that I can outsource? Well, the back end stuff, right? Like, this is something I realized with the masterclass that I just finished. All of this back end stuff, creating the email campaign and creating the landing page and the registration page, that's all stuff I could have easily outsourced and gotten somebody to do, paid, got on Fiverr, look for Fiverr, and find somebody to do that work for me. But if I didn't know how to do it, then I would have been completely at the whim of the individual that I outsourced to, right? So I mean, maybe I'm just a control freak, but I don't want to ever be in a position where I don't know why certain choices and decisions are being made for my business, right? And to outsource before I have a proficiency and knowledge about a specific thing, I think it's a little bit foolhardy. You're giving up control. right? Again, why outsource something that you have no idea about or no knowledge about, right? Make sure you gain a level of proficiency first, and that's what this particular example has allowed me to do, right? In setting up my own registration page and my own email campaign as the message is sent out for the master class and the links to the Zoom and everything like that. I now know the how how all that works, right? And on top of that, I also understand now the really the very basic fundamentals of building an email list, right? Right. So there's so many benefits to figuring it out for yourself first before outsourcing. On top of course, saving money, right? Right. So that's my take. That's my take on outsourcing. It's not that you shouldn't outsource. I think eventually all of us at some point will outsource. I know I will. As my brand grows and as my workload grows, I'm going to want to and need to outsource. But don't rush into outsourcing just because you can. Right, just because you can. I don't think it's necessarily the wisest thing, and you rob yourself of a lot of different things. Education and growth, and potentially control over the things that you're outsourcing for, right? All right, so that's my message for today. That's my take on outsourcing. I don't know, you might have a different opinion, but I think learning as an entrepreneur, your capacity to learn and develop more skill sets and abilities is really, really important. It makes you a more capable entrepreneur for sure. Right. So that's it. That's the talk for today. Hope that makes sense. If you have any opposing thoughts or ideas about outsourcing, let's talk about it. Come join us on the Facebook community, Path of the Network Marketer. I've got a community page there. It's a group page, facebook.com/group/Path of the Network Marketer. You can click on it in the show notes of this episode. And let's just have further conversations. There's a lot of content there that's exclusive to that community. So you're going to want to join there. Again, it's facebook.com/group/Path of the Network Marketer. All right. That's going to do it for today. More from me tomorrow. So until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.